No páni, ideme na to v tejto biede. No zomrel jeden šmák do Deli. Druhý pravdepodobne tiež už bude niekde fučiť z posledného, alebo už tiež je mŕtvy. V každom prípade, skontáme zvukovú stopu, opäť sa na to spustíme, dobre? No páni, ideme na to v tejto biede. No zomrel jeden. Je to strašné. Odaj začíname 890. Áno. Začíname 890. relaxačný tréningový deň. Je pondelok 27.4.2026. A je PC klikožrutov 100, 90, 80, 70, 60 klikstého. Začíname 18.43. Na prvá séria 100 klikov, že to 100 klikstov, púčme tohto pičisa ako podmas.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video on the channel. It's the start of a new week, which means it's time to go over all the bits and bobs that's happened at the back end of last week, just before the weekend or over the weekend, including announcements of a brand new update coming out literally tomorrow, the day after this video goes live. The PTS has had more changes and more tweaks going on, which I want to talk about, and I might just touch upon slightly some of the bugs that cropped up ever since the last update. So yeah, let's get into it. Now right before I start talking about all these changes, if you're brand new to the channel and want to keep up to date with all things Fallout 76, just like in this video, including Minerva's changes, major updates that came in, or major changes that came in with updates, first looks at the PTS and all these other beautiful bits of information that I share, then make sure to be subscribed. We're about to hit 76,000 subscribers, which would be really cool given the fact we're a channel all around Fallout 76. Now if you're one of the beautiful people that is already subscribed, make sure to hit that like button. The more likes a video gets, basically the more YouTube will push it. And while we're actually here, by the way, just so you know, April 27th to the 29th, which is literally today, Minerva's live. So go check out this video to tell you where she is, all the items she'll have up for sale, and all that type of thing. And anyways, I'm waffling. Let's dive into the news. Alright, so first things first, this is all about the brand new update that's been announced to be coming out tomorrow, which is pretty mad because we literally just got a new update literally last week now. Now last week's update was a lot bigger than expected. It came with a whole bunch of new bug fixes, but with it also brought in a couple of new ones. If you want to keep up to date with all of the changes that basically came in the last one, then check out my previous video all about it. They'll be linked throughout this video. But the main bug that really cropped up is the one all about the bar in the bottom of your screen. Now if you haven't noticed, basically the bottom bar in your bottom right corner of the screen that tells you if you're addicted to things, tells you if you need a drink, all that type of stuff. This has been bugged out ever since the update, and you may notice if you go and play right now and have a look, there's stuff popping up on there which you have not got wrong with you or you do not need. So people's been saying that they've been getting like the feral icon come up when they're not even a ghoul. I've just been getting random things pop up every now and again when I've been playing, and at first I didn't even know this was a huge bug. I was like, what the hell, why is this like timer going down on this little icon? I had no idea what icon it was. I just seen it in the corner of my eye, continued playing and thought, must be something I've done or something like that. Turns out no, it's just a completely random bug which clearly has touched some sensitive points on some people because they're fixing this literally a week later, which I find mad. Now I get maybe it's a quick fix which they've decided to do, but there's so many other bugs out there which is still going on in the game that's been going on for months, weeks, whatever it may be, that still haven't been addressed and fixed. The most sensational game is a big example of that. Like you go into the cinema and all of a sudden you can't throw tomatoes. I keep mentioning this one because I like the expedition and yeah, you can't do it. It's quite annoying. Before anyone worries about it, don't worry, there is a workaround. You use grenades instead of tomatoes, but that doesn't make it any less annoying. Now there's also this disappearing power armor bug which hasn't been fully addressed yet, which I've not personally experienced it, but I get comments on most of the videos from you guys saying that this is a thing and people's losing power armor and stuff, but then I've also seen comments saying when it happens you just quit, come back in and it'll be there again. So I'm not too sure what's going on with this because I'm hearing so many different sides of the story. But now though, all we do know is there will be another update on Tuesday the 28th, which is going to be bringing the servers down at 3 PM UK time. Whether or not they'll throw a few sneaky little bug fixes in there as well, not entirely sure, but you know what, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I wouldn't expect anything too major though. It wouldn't be like the last one where they've had weeks to work on it. This is literally a week between updates, so if there is any more, there'll only be literally like a couple. Now, some of the changes that or bugs that's came in since the last update that's been affecting people, apparently the Enclave Flamer is not working now. I didn't see one comment on this, so I'm not entirely sure how kind of affected the community is by this one. Two Shot does appear to have been massively nerfed. There's so much commentary about this in the community. And a kind of interesting one, the Atoms glitch that appeared, which we talked about in the last update video. Basically, a lot of people, when they bought Atoms or got their Fallout First update, got kind of funded with a bunch of Atoms, which they weren't expecting, like in terms of thousands. People then went, spent all these, and then they've been reset down to 0 Atoms now. However, the atoms that they spent and the items that they bought, the people actually managed to keep all this and Bethesda hasn't took it off them. So it's kind of been a nice little win for some of these people. If you're one of the people that got thousands and didn't spend them now, you might be like a little bit upset. Alright, now looking at the PTS, so if anyone doesn't want to know what's coming up in the game and any of the changes that they're working on, look away now, but basically we're going to be going through any little changes that they threw in this week. Now the first major one that came in just a little bit before this update is all around the UMINET maps. Now these have been kind of fixed and added back into the actual PTS now, but these came in at the start of last week. And I've got to be honest, I feel like it's another one of them kind of ideas where I just don't understand why they've been thrown into the game, because as they currently stand, they don't really hold much purpose. You can go to one of the little vendors, buy them, or get them rewarded, or find them. Then you go to a dig site and dig them up, which weirdly sounds just like a treasure map. So why add in something that's just the exact same? Now it gets even better, because currently, when you've got 3 different types basically. I bought all 3, I went and dug up all 3. All 3 gave me the exact same amount of XP, and they all gave me there or thereabouts the same scrap. So yeah, I don't understand the point of the different tiers to them. I don't understand the point of these getting added in when we already have treasure maps that people don't go and do. And I think the treasure maps, to be honest, are a better idea because you've got to actually use the map, whereas these, it tells you where to go. So I much prefer the treasure maps. On the plus side, I guess they work, I just don't get the point. Now looking at the PTS patch notes from this recent update that came out just a couple of days ago now, there's a whole bunch of changes going on with radiation. Now I've got to be honest, I read through this at first, like when the update first came out, hence why I'm only uploading today, because I didn't think there's anything too major in these patch notes, but I do want to keep everyone up to date, hence why we're doing the video. But basically there's been a whole bunch of changes to ghoul radiation adjustments, and when I read it, it was just kind of like nonsense to me. It's just loads of numbers changing behind the scenes, and yeah, I didn't think there was anything too crazy. You can have a little read through if you want. It's like daft little things like this one. Increased player ghoul health gain from environmental radiation from 20% to 35%, and 25% on the next one to 35%. Like it's all just like random little like tweaks here and there, but if you are a ghoul, this might impact you. It does seem that they're trying to make radiation a bit more like impactful in the game, so you can actually properly feel it and actually kind of feel the effect of it rather than it just being there and not being bothered. Like you throw power armor on and usually you wouldn't really care for radiation. That's kind of been changing and they're making it more harmful to your character, let's say. Doing a little bit of work on like perks and stuff here, so it's done the radius of the glowing one perk. They've reduced the glow granted by the glowing one perk. Like, it seems to be a few little buffs and nerfs to this one by the look of it. And then there's just loads of daft little things like here, address an issue where glowing blood packs added radiation resistance to ghoul players. A lot of this stuff like you wouldn't really have seen yet because some of these bugs have been going on in the PTS, so these have been reported in there. Some of them might be in the live servers as well, so it might be a bit of a mix of both, but it's all just a bit of jargon to me, is that the right word, where it's just basically a load of nonsense, so you read through and it just doesn't really make much sense. One that you might have seen, which is a bit of a weird one, they've reduced the radiation resistance for most non-power armor, and this is going to be by a massive 45 to 65%. They've said with the changes to radiation in this update, each individual point of rad resist is much stronger than before. This left the radiation damage mitigation power of non-power armor in a very strong state, even more so when used in combination with the increased usefulness of armor mods and items. This change leaves non-power armor radiation damage resistance at a higher level than it was before, so technically, according to this paragraph, it's basically had a massive buff behind the scenes. This is how I kind of worked out. So it's had a massive buff, which then made it extremely overpowered to the point where they've had to reduce it by this much to actually make it somewhat normal, but it's still more powerful than it previously was. Hopefully that makes sense. There's been some changes around the light machine gun. Of course, that's been meant to have been getting some new mods and stuff thrown in there, and it's been missing some crafting costs, so they've changed them. They've renamed the light machine gun standard muzzle to no muzzle. Added energy damage to the gamma gun. This is an interesting one because this is going to be on top of the radiation damage, so this could potentially be a decent buff. Now the final section of the patch notes is around infestations. And they said they would be doing some changes to this based on the feedback of the community, because a lot of people's been complaining about the discoverability of this, the kind of teamwork side of things and stuff like that, and people's just not sure if it's really what everyone's kind of wanting. There's a bit of a mixed bag of emotions around it. Some people like the idea of it, some people's like, I like it, but just like make it more discoverable so people can join in. And Bethesda's reacted to this. They've said that we are continuing to work on changes to infestations based on your feedback by exploring solutions that provide you with more information about their locations without becoming as explicit as a public event. So I don't know how they're going to do this without making it more like a public event, so I'm interested to see what they do like that. It says, our goal is to preserve the small team fight and organic discovery experience as much as possible while still ironing out the frustrations that you've experienced.
Je to za nami. Zrekapitulujeme to. Bol 890. 890. relaxačný trénink uvedenie za nami. Bolo 27.4.2026. Skončili sme 18.55. Segment bol dlhý, trval 12 minút a 30 sekúnd, 12.30.